he survives in this room, I give him $10,000.
People don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me. And it didn't go well.
This makes me want to ask, mentally, are you okay?
I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just. I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
MrBeast is coming under extreme pressure from the entire YouTube community to respond to a number of extremely serious allegations. He's remained almost totally silent. Meanwhile, on a near daily basis, more allegations are brought to light. It was revealed recently that Jimmy employed a man by the name of Charles Jefferson, a registered sex offender whose victims were under the age of 11, to be a manager of his channel, a channel that makes content solely for children. He was then given the nickname Delaware as a joke by the MrBeast crew in reference to the fact that he's not allowed back to Delaware. Jimmy frequently referred to the employee as Delaware, even calling him this in a number of his videos.
He's after my hungry.
Don't touch Delaware's crackers. Delaware, yes. I need everyone's phones. I want them all to FaceTime their family. Whoever steps out, if Delaware steps out, you two get $5 grand.
In this video, I'm going to be giving my take on the interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, who alleges extremely harsh treatment from the MrBeast team, and inappropriate jokes from MrBeast himself.
One of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was. I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, it's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, because when you grow up with, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
When Jake is reflecting on the fact that his fellow employee didn't want to cause trouble and wanted to keep his job, he instantly does a pacifying behavior and touches his face. Ekman in 2003 conducted a study titled Recognizing Faces and Feelings to Improve Communication and Emotional Life, which found that pacifying behaviors contribute to emotional self-regulation by providing outlets for stress and discomfort. He also shows signs of the globe sensation, which is when the muscles around the throat tense up in response to stress.
But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, if that's I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it. Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? I don't get to deal with the how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? And I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room, And I really regret that. But, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends. Is he doing good? Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good.
It paints a pretty terrible picture of the head office at MrBeast. They fired both of them simply because the employees felt that they should be paid appropriately for the work they were doing. It seems a pretty cold and cutthroat place to work, far removed from what YouTube was supposed to be all about.
I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could. Oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. And then I got the severance checks. So, whatever, all that regard.
He does a number of distancing behaviors when he's reflecting on the immoral practices of MrBeast, showing clear signs that he's uncomfortable thinking about it. A research paper published by the FBI Behavioral Science Unit reported that distancing behaviors occur when a person is under stressful or uncomfortable situations. He becomes emotionally affected thinking about the immorality of the work he was made to do at the company. Offering massive cash rewards in exchange for footage of them suffering is not an ethical practice, and it needs to be regulated. People will debase themselves if it means they get to feed their families.
It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, hey, they want you for a video. I was like, oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God. What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement, but don't worry, like you only have to last like 30, we have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like, what items am I going to get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure.
He then shows signs of strong vocal inflections, with his voice going from bassline to a more unstable, fluctuating sound. This is due to muscle tension in the throat similar to what causes the global sensation. He's experiencing a clear spike in his stress levels, reflecting on what he had to go through, indicating that the MrBeast challenge has created lasting psychological damage. MrBeast in 1972 released a report titled Nonverbal Communication, which suggested that 38% of all communication is done with a person's tone of voice.
They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up. On paper, I was like, okay, I can do this, and they always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. I get there, and at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. It was in one of the studios. Like, things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. And the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes. On, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. They weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun, I got no access to clock, I don't know,
His nonverbal communication is entirely genuine here. He's showing massive fluctuations in his behavior as he's reminiscing about the traumatic events that he went through. When reflecting on the fact that they refused to turn off the lights at night, he displays rapid head movement. Researchers Keltner and Dacker in 1997 released a study titled Signs of Appeasement, which found that rapid head movements were heavily linked to feelings of embarrassment and shame, which are stress-related emotions. He does this in an attempt to mitigate the discomfort, again showing just how damaging his time at MrBeast was.
I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this, we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course.
When he says that he had good people looking out for him, he does a distancing behavior and looks away and then pacifies by exhaling. Lehrer and Paul conducted a study in 2007 titled Physiology and Neurobiology of Stress and Adaptation, which found that exhaling was part of the body's adaptive mechanism to release stress. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps counteract stress. The MrBeast team are clueless as to how to maintain basic dignity for their contestants. If this were a production in traditional media, there would be countless regulations to ensure this sort of thing didn't happen.
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that seemed weird. I don't like it. We were doing one of those hide and seek videos. Again, at the time they were a lot realer. So I got caught, and when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, "All right, you're going to jail. Like your dad." And it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss. And that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm sitting who's watching this? Who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year.
Jake breaks down fully here when thinking about the strain Jimmy and the MrBeast team put him through. He does numerous pacifying and distancing behaviors, as well as showing strong signs of muscle tension. No one should have to go through that level of emotional strain for a cheap YouTube challenge video. There has to be regulation for massive channels like this, as there is in the film and TV industry. The level of alleged emotional manipulation and coercion clearly on display here is mind-boggling.
I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah.
Did you try to say no?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, And if I refuse, it's just, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. I asked him, "How long do I have?" He goes, "Until I get back." And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And it's like they brought in all my friends, you know, to make it. They brought in all the people I liked and Jimmy.
All of his body language is genuine and sincere here. He's a mess of emotions and is expressing a wide variety of different nonverbal cues. Human behavior is messy, and what he expresses here is incredibly difficult to imitate.
Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast just because I was on Beast Hacks. Now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug. You know, when I saw it, all that stuff started coming out, and the potentiality, as of this moment of recording. You know, I know this has been happening fast, and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're gonna make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point. I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. I heard, you know, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. You know, he's very careful about his image. You know, the tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. You know, how do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. He's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that. He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname?
Did Jimmy know about it?
The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
As we've covered before, evidence recently came to light proving that Jimmy did know and frequently addressed him as Delaware. He also permitted him to conceal his face in his video, produced and directed by Jimmy, with the sole purpose of hiding his identity and past.
I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content, so I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description. I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
I really feel for Jake, and I could only imagine how many other people have been affected by the MrBeast brand. His non-verbal communication throughout this entire video has shown that he still holds deep trauma from his time working for Jimmy at MrBeast. Some form of class action lawsuit needs to be taken against this brand, and there needs to be some serious legislation put in place to regulate these gigantic media corporations. What do you think of this video? Let me know in the comment section below, and thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.